Hey guys, it's Nija. Okay, we're in a funky location today. I was just on the phone with my girlfriend Ashley. That's usually how these downloads start. I'm on the phone with one of my girlfriends talking intellectually. And so today we were talking about we're quitting smoking weed because we smoke weed, and I came to this realization that a lot of the spiritual people, a lot of empaths, a lot of people like me, like you, the people who watch spirituality YouTube videos and stuff like that, we all kind of vibrationally gravitate towards smoking weed because we feel so deeply. We can feel everything. We feel for other people, we feel for ourselves, we feel for our loved ones, we feel for humanity, right? And it's like smoking weed kind of takes the edge off, or allows us to view the corrupt world through a filter where we're not having to not hands-on experience it, but like we can accept it. We can be in a dormant, docile state of acceptance where we can analyze things without feeling the pain of what we really are experiencing. But here's the significance of stopping to smoke, because we're gonna stop. Today was my last day and her last day for a long time. So if you guys want to be on this little journey with us, comment down below. But you have to have your own reasons. For us, we're stopping because we know that we should be manifesting on a quicker scale. It's like, how like in the movies, in the mystical movies, when they're doing magic, it's like instantaneous. That is what manifestation is. That is what magic is. Instant manifestation, right? So it's like we should be able to perform miracles at that level, or to bring in what we want into our reality at that level, with that quickness, with that speed, because we can tap into that resonance. It's all tapping into resonance. So what does this have to do with smoking weed? I really do believe that empaths and people who feel deeply, we use this plant medicine, this herb, as a mechanism to allow us, to help us to interact with this corrupt world, this corrupt system we're in, without feeling so triggered every single day and every single moment. Like I remember when I used to have to go to work, I could not go to work sober. Like I had to be high. I did not want to be there, right? To the point where I could not even show up in my right mind. Like I just wanted to get high before I went to work. And I'm actually really surprised that I'm saying this like out loud on YouTube, because like I wouldn't even tell my mom that I smoke weed. Like I didn't want my sisters to know. Like I felt so bad. And then I found out that my dad smoked weed and my siblings on my dad's side smoke weed. I can understand why so many of us are attached to this plant medicine. And I will say attached because there is an entity attachment that comes on you when and it's the newer weed. It's the newer weaponized weed. It's not the old weed. It's not the old like ganja, regular bud grown from the plant. Or grown from the earth. This is lab-made marijuana, or lab-made weed. We can't trust it. And I really do believe it is doing something to us. Like, you see why are they, like, do you remember before, like, they were not trying to put this, like, show you people smoking weed, teens smoking weed, all this stuff in the media. And these days, they're, like, really popularizing it, like, fetishizing it, like, making it everywhere. Like, the little kids are doing it, the big kids are doing it. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool, let's get high, it's fine. And I didn't want to hear anything about it. I was like, it's fine. I can be productive. I'm a productive smoker. Like, I'm good. I can do this, right? But it just really does give you lingering, like, it makes you very sleepy. It makes you very passive. So here's the thing that's down about being passive all the time. We don't need to be passive all the time. Sometimes we do need to get up and be productive. Sometimes we do need to get up and not be in a state of acceptance, see our reality and be like, this is not okay, and I'm gonna get up and do something about it. And I'm not in a docile, like smoked out state to where I can't be productive. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you smoke weed, like, yeah, you can be productive, but it's like Do you remember the capacity we were performing at before we were smoking? Like, I just remember myself, like when I was in high school and even in my beginning stages of college, like I could just do so much. And these days, like I just feel so tired, like I'm not getting enough done. Granted, it has multiple things to do. It has to do with diet, it has to do with exercise, it has to do with sunlight. How much light codes are you receiving every day? Meditation. What are you doing with your energy, right? But it's like, if we can get down to if we can abolish one major thing that is obstructing us from operating at our fullest potential, can you just imagine where we're all going to be when we're not all in a state of acceptance? Acceptance is cool, but we need to, if things are wrong in our reality and we're smoking weed so that we can be okay with it, we do not need to be smoking weed because we do not need to be okay with it. We need to be amending it, fixing it, fixing what's wrong in our lives. And so if we're smoking weed because we are trying to get okay with it, like for me, I was just like, man, I had a rough day, I'm stressed out, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, like this is just too overwhelming for me, so I'm just going to get high and feel zoned out. And I would feel better afterwards, I really would. But it's not because things got better, it's because I medicated myself. Plant medicine is not the problem, it's how we're using it. And we're using it to basically dumb ourselves down or calm ourselves down, but we're not supposed to be calm to the injustices that are happening in the world. And we're just getting high because we are overly, what is the word? Overly stimulated by what is happening around us, and we just need something to slow us down, to bring us down, to make us calm, to calm ourselves down. But let me tell you, you can bring that calmness to yourself through meditation. You can make yourself high through breath work. You can release DMTs into yourself through learning breath work. Okay, doing the 4 counts, 4 in, hold 4 at the top, release 4, hold 4 at the bottom. That can release DMTs into your blood cell. Learn breath work. Remember, guys, I told you guys the magic of air. Remember, getting back to the foundational elements of learning the elements, the water codes, the air codes, the light codes, right? So the air codes is just like, if you think that you were getting high from smoking weed, just imagine how much higher you can get naturally from releasing your DMT through the air codes. Okay, so I'm saying all this to say we have to put the weed down, because what we have now is not real weed. It's weaponized weed. It's putting us in a state of being stagnant and being in the same place for prolonged periods of time to be okay, to become docile to whatever agendas are being rolled out next. You don't want to sleep. It's like basically putting the giant to sleep. Or like, you know, like there's like a sane person in an insane asylum, and they keep giving them drugs, keep medicating them, keep giving them pills and shots to make them docile, to make them sleepy, but they're perfectly healthy, they're perfectly fine. That's basically what we're doing to ourselves right now, medicating ourselves to keep bringing us down. And Ashley and I were also talking about how we're meant to be manifesting at a certain level, like our potential is so much higher than what we're operating in. So if you can imagine your dream life and where you want to be and what you're supposed to see, if you can imagine that in your head, okay, where was I going with this? If you can imagine that in your head, you should be able to attract that to yourself. But because you continually smoke weed, you continually suppress yourself to put yourself in the state of mind, in the mindset that can stay revolved in the regular world that you're in. It's like you have to keep getting high to stay in the world that you're in, out of fear of what will happen if you unlock yourself, unleash yourself, and let yourself walk into the world that you're supposed to be in. Manifestation is about aligning the portals, and then you walk straight through them. It's supposed to happen with ease, right? So it's like we're medicating ourselves, suppressing our energy, suppressing our vibration, keeping ourselves in this time loop, and we're not allowing ourselves to break through. And it's like, yeah, you can break through holding on to this crutch, but you can literally shoot yourself out of the loop if you let go of this crutch. This is like, do you remember like how if you ever were in church, when they talk about consecration, giving up something of the flesh to get closer to source or to God? there really was magic in that. There really is magic in fasting. There really is magic in, what is it called, reducing pleasure of the flesh. Like when you eat excessively, gluttony is pleasure of the flesh, and excess in the solar plexus chakra. Having too much sex is an overactive sacral chakra. Okay, so it's like these things will put us out of balance. Smoking too much weed because we don't want to face our real reality, honestly, it could be clouding the third eye chakra, because you know, we think it's taking us to these places intellectually, and it really does, but then it's like you don't even want to be in your regular reality sober, because you can feel, you can sense, you can see the corruption and what's wrong in our reality when we're not high. That's the significance of not being high. We need to be sober long enough to feel what is wrong. We need to be sober long enough to feel what needs to be fixed and fix it, and then go back to plant medicine with that clear understanding of why we're using it. Why are you even using it? Are you using it because you're sad, you're not happy, you really don't want to be a part of your real reality? That's why I was using it. I didn't want to be a part of my real reality. And can you imagine how sad that is to say? Like, that really is, like, we always think like, oh, weed's not that bad, weed's not like the other drugs, but imagine the people who are using the other drugs really are just using it to escape reality. So it's like, if you're using weed to escape your reality, you're using it for the same reason that the people who use hardcore drugs, that's why they're doing it, to escape their reality. We need to be using it to enhance our reality. And like I said, the weed we have now, it's not it. They're tampering with it. It's not it. So that's all I have to say today. I'm gonna give it up. I know it's gonna be hard. Like, guys, I'm going through some really crazy things, transition in my life right now, and that's kind of why I haven't been posting on my main channel, Nija Sim. And it's also because I really am, like, I know I'm gonna have to change, like, do a complete 360 of the content that I was posting before on my main channel. And it's still gonna be like my, I don't know, like, secular channel, but I'm understanding now the importance and the significance of sharing your perspective, but more than that, sharing consciously, sharing content consciously. So yeah, I'm just, you know, trying to do my part, sharing my little piece of the puzzle with you guys pertaining to weed and marijuana. So I hope that this video was helpful. If it is, share your experience down below in the comment section, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.